I cheated on my manipulative boyfriend, and I don't regret it. I met my ex-boyfriend through my best friend, his sister, and we dated for 2 years. He got me into fitness and helped me improve my health a lot. He was somewhat of a role model for me. The biggest issue I had was that my boyfriend would not tell me he loved me. I would say I love you, and he would make it awkward like I said something I shouldn't have or ignore I said anything. He would often compliment other women, but could not do the same for me. At the beginning of our relationship, he was verbally affectionate, however. Over the next year and more, I would talk to him constantly about how hurtful his lack of verbal affection was, and his response would be, "There are cultural differences between us. And we don't say I love you in my house. It's uncomfortable for me to say it, and I don't want to change who I am for someone despite there being proof that he could and had said it to me before." It made me question, what changed? What did I do wrong, and why doesn't he love me anymore? When we started dating, I was very young. I wasn't good at communicating yet, and he would often have our arguments in front of other people, his siblings, 14M and 18F approximate. When we started dating, it was brought up without my consent to involve them, and in a shameful way in which they would near always defend him. After months of this, I began feeling worthless, like nothing I did was enough, and that I loved him more than he loved me. I felt that he was so much better than I was, and I didn't deserve him, so I could never leave. I broke up with him twice just to get back together with him. Then I cheated. I was drunk and high, and I remember thinking, he won't want me back if I do this. I can't stay away when he asks me to come back, and this is my out. And I'll be honest, it was lust too. I felt so terribly unattractive and unloved that I wanted to feel that again, even if it was in the arms of someone else. I told him a day or two afterwards. It just got worse from there. He forgave me and we stayed together, and now I only felt more guilt and shame. The end of our relationship was this. Only a week or two after I cheated, he told me he had something to confess. I didn't think much of it until he confessed to sexually assaulting his sister, groping, oral sex, kissing, and everything except for penetration. They tried though, it just didn't fit. She was 9. He was 15. It went on for 2 or 3 years until it stopped. He said there were times she asked him for it. He said he was changed by his own sexual assault. He told me years ago his uncle groped him once, and that he thought it was normal amongst family members. I was shocked. I felt dirty and disgusting. I immediately left. I drove to my friend's house and screamed and sobbed the entire way. The shock that my now ex-boyfriend did that was immense, and that he did that to my best friend? I felt so much pain for her, and that she went through that, and I felt betrayed. I broke up with him, of course, and my best friend said she never wanted to speak to me again because she couldn't forgive me for cheating on my brother and hurting her family. I left that relationship unable to get over it and him for a year. I would cry myself to sleep, have nightmares, and I always felt so incredibly guilty because even though I can recognize how manipulative he was now, at the time I couldn't. I knew I cheated and hurt my best friend and the person who I felt was the love of my life. I very much so believed that my boyfriend had been grooming me and his siblings. I don't feel much guilt for cheating on him, maybe because of how harshly I put myself down for it in the beginning, but I also feel that what I put him through is nothing compared to what he did to me. He lied to me for years. He made me feel worthless and unloved, all because saying I love you was uncomfortable. And honestly, I don't know if he would have told me ever if I hadn't cheated. Confessing to that a week after I cheated? Now I see he probably thought I would forgive him since he forgave me. He used my cheating as an opportunity to confess. It all began to make sense. This happened about 3 years ago now. I'm mostly past this. It was just on my mind and I wanted to tell someone.